Welcome to Publicly Buzzed Live. Thank you everyone for joining me. I see a bunch of people have already popped in here early. Really appreciate it, guys. So let me just make sure, as always, do a sound check. Yeah, looking good. Cool. Yeah, thanks, guys. We are doing part 2 of a conspiracy stream that we did last Thursday, mainly focused on Inan Harsh. A little bit more on Inan Harsh and maybe some other stuff going to be going over today. I've actually got a few different things pulled up. See exactly what I can get to. I am going to start out the gate with a little bit of news that everyone's been talking about. Basically how we found out a little bit more information, at least through News Nation, that someone else actually made the 911 call and not DM. But yeah, everybody that's hanging out in here, thank you very much. Priya, yeah, Tony, Lisa M, Upstate Housewife, new name. Thanks for popping in. Carol, the Wandering Orphan, Socrates, Jamie, hell yeah, a bunch of people popping in here. Appreciate it, guys. Everybody that's popping in here right now, hit like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and please hit the 3 little dots on the side and make sure you have all notifications turned on so you can get all my community posts, all of my edited videos, and all of my lives when I drop those as well, like today. So you'll pop right up. Pookie, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Yeah, just straight out the gate. Let me pop this over here to the internet. Oh, wrong one. Straight at the gate, we're going to start with a little bit of something that we have all been hearing about. That somebody, I've got an article pulled up over here as well. This is from International Business Times, talking about how, again, I think it was News Nation who reported this first, that it was Ethan's best friend that actually made the 911 call and not what we've been led to believe this entire time, Dylan. So I'm just going to start real quick while I send out a few links with this.
Known is what happened prior to the first responders arriving on the scene, and tonight I can tell you. You have heard that the 911 call was made from a surviving roommate's cell phone. But we can now tell you who it was who made that call. I'm not going to name the person, but it was Ethan's best friend who made the 911 call, and that's because it was Ethan's best friend who made the discovery of Xana and Ethan's bodies. And that is a very tragic and sad detail to report. Up until now, it had been an assumption that there was maybe an unconscious person because it was a guess, that there was someone behind the door who wasn't answering a bedroom door. Now we can tell you that it was Ethan's best friend who had been called over that morning and made the discovery and took Ethan's pulse. Also called out to get 911 on the phone.
So yeah, a little bit of new information dropping all the time that a gag order is not working so well. But hell, maybe his best friend, and there's no way his best friend's not under that gag order, right? If he found and made the call, of course, has not ever been released. And yeah, it would be interesting because if that would have been released and we heard that it wasn't DM making the call, we'd all been, well, who the hell is this guy? So maybe he wanted to clear the air a little bit there. I mean, which even maybe raises more questions. I'm going to go through this article just a little bit here. It wasn't Dylan, one of the 2 surviving roommates of the 4 murdered University of Idaho students, but one of the friends, the best friend of Ethan Chapin, who found them dead in their bed, him and Xana, and called 911 and informed about the horrific killings, according to the report. According to information reported by News Nation on Wednesday, Ethan Chapin was found dead, sorry, I lost my place, dead in bed with his girlfriend Xana, by a longtime friend who even went so far as to check his pulse before calling 911. It was earlier, and this guy must have seen an absolute bloodbath when he walked in there. Unnamed friend calls 911. The unnamed friend had gone over to Moscow, Idaho, home on the morning of November 13th after Chapin and Chronobo 20. Then they're going to go over the names here. Had been murdered. All the Idaho 4 had been murdered while sleeping by alleged killer Bryan Kohberger. Excuse me. Sources told News Nation around 11:58 a.m. Chapin's best friend found him and Chronobo dead. So is that who they called? Straight out the gate early in the morning. But then I've also, we've all heard different stories. We've heard that many people were called, and there was a group outside watching kind of everything unfold. But I'm guessing he's the one that actually went inside after reading this and getting this news, then this new update that actually went as far as to check Ethan's pulse, which had to be absolutely horrific. And again, it had to be an absolute bloodbath. Sources told News Nation, yes, that Chapin's best friend found him and Chronobo dead. took their pulses before shouting for roommate Dylan and others to call 911, and they still didn't, so because he still had to make the call. News Nation withheld the name of Chapin's best friend, but said he was the one who used Mortensen's phone to make the call. He might not have even had his phone on him, right? And imagine if they called him to come over, I'm sure they were just like, get the hell over here, in a frantic. Or did they call, not knowing what was going on? And maybe he was a regular, I know a lot of people came through there and it was a party house, quote unquote, but being Ethan's best friend and Zayna living there, I'm sure Ethan was there all the time. And this guy was probably a more friendly guy, that they knew and would see on a regular basis. So maybe they called him to, we're freaked out and afraid to come out of our room. And you come and check this out. And he's the one that actually possibly found the whole ordeal. If they didn't come out first, we don't know a lot of those facts at all. Soon after the killings, Mortensen came face to face with alleged quadruple murderer Kohberger, 28, raising questions on why she didn't call 911. Mortensen described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletic, and the famous bushy eyebrows. The male walked past her as she stood frozen in a frozen shock phase, quoted as police affidavit read. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. It was reported Mortensen, who along with Bethany survived the attack, called the police to alert them. But more than 8 hours after the murders took place, she was scared. She was scared to death. But now we're finding out some new information. I would say when this starts really finally getting into June, when we get any kind of real information, if it goes to court or whatever, I'll say a lot of stuff is probably going to change. Oh, whoa. The Wandering Orphan. Thank you very much for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Hell yeah. That's dope as hell. Nice. Bunch of people in here. Yeah, if you're just hanging out, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. Help me get in the algorithm. Share this thing. Hell yeah, Wandering Orphan. That's dope as hell. I really appreciate that. Hold on. Let me read through here real quick. Just to make sure. Lee Myrick, thanks for popping in. Just going to check chat real quick, guys. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. 6 chicks subscribe within minutes. Appreciate the hell out of it. Nice. There's Compulsive Rambler. Yeah, I'm sorry you missed it last time. Cecilia, thanks everybody for popping in. Appreciate it. Okay, she's telling me to scroll back up. What'd I miss? Hunter Johnson. Is that what I missed? The name? Somebody's actually got a name here? So the first responders were not the first responders, where the bodies moved before Ellie got there, says Socrates. I think it's his brother. Given because of what their mother said. Okay, the Wandering Orphan coming out. May I email you evidence? Yes, publiclybuzzed@gmail.com, Compulsive Rambler. And I'll check that live right here. May I email you evidence on who the other person is that I sent to the FBI, because it's been weeks and nothing happened, but I have hard visual proof. Maybe if you report it too, you'll get it looked at. Yeah, send that over and I'll definitely take a look at it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you. And the thing I got popped up over here for Inan Harsh, I found his, and I haven't never looked through this. Maybe you guys have seen this, and this won't be new to anybody, but I found the AMA that he did on Reddit, where everybody, he spills all kinds of information out here. We can kind of go through, and then there's a bunch of questions, of course, if anyone's familiar, that's a long ass spill there. Kind of talking to him. And then I found his Reddit, and this is nothing new at all, but it is to me, because I hadn't actually dove into this guy, his actual Reddit, profile here. I data when you sleep, and I will go through a little bit of that as well. Yeah, thanks for everybody popping in here. Yeah, I'll pop my email up here and look for that. Susie, thank you from Australia. Hell yeah. Jeff H. Hell yeah, everybody. Appreciate it. Let me pop up my email here just real quick. Everybody pop it in here. Again, if you're just popping in, hit the like. That really helps me out, guys. Yeah, I got this popped up over here. I'm going to just keep an eye out. Sometimes it takes a minute for the emails to come through. I have noticed I've had people email me before live, and it takes a second. Okay, please do not share it live. Extremely sensitive material. I do not want it to go viral. Just need more people to report it to FBI. But trust me, the last thing I want is the whole internet to find it. Gotcha. I will not pull it over live. Yeah, I was going to look at it beforehand anyways, but yeah, sensitive material in it. I'm not going to be doxing anyone on this channel, 100%. But yeah, send that over. Kevin B, hell yeah, popping in here. Appreciate it. Case far from over. Kohberger, a PhD student at the nearby Washington State University Pullman, was arrested in December after a multi-state manhunt. We all know this. Getting into a little bit of more DM here. She reportedly shouted at her friends and roommates to be quiet during the early morning hours, November 13th. Calm down, you're being loud. She reportedly yelled at 4, trying to sleep, and then famously has opened the door multiple times, to which now the story has changed again. I'm asking, how many more times will the story change? Well, I'm thinking about it. Real quick plug for tomorrow night, guys. Hey, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good Thursday night. Tomorrow night, we're going to be on the Drunk Turkey Show, me and my brother Dan. We're really excited about that. We're going to be talking, I think, some Alex Murdaugh trial stuff and some Kohberger stuff, so definitely pop over there. And then directly after that, I'm going to be going live with the normal Friday night show. I'm not exactly sure the time frame, but pretty much as soon as that show ends, I'm going to be kind of doing a Drunken Turkey Show after party on my channel, hanging out and just kind of going over some, really the Friday nights are kind of wild here. Really kind of take a lot of chat, do what pretty much anybody wants to do. We watch a lot of interrogation stuff and just kind of drink and bullshit. But yeah, tomorrow night, definitely check us out on Drunk Turkey Show. Excited about that. But yeah, I will not share that. I'm going to keep an eye out for that email, though, because I do want to take a look at that. Just to have a live on-air reaction. But yeah, this is the news story that's kind of everyone is reporting on right now. I mean, it is news. It's a new situation. It's completely new. Actually, it's not at all what we thought was happening. Oh, God. But yeah. All right, but yeah, what I did also have pulled up, and I had something else. Okay, two other things real quick. So, and this was in the Drunk Turkey Show stream, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Somebody was in their chat, and they were talking about this song. And if they're in this chat tonight, that would be freaking sweet. So, oh my God, no, right there, holy shit. Okay, I did not read this before. Deandra, have you guys heard that song by the band? Dude, that's literally what I'm going into right now. Oh my God, that's crazy. I looked over as soon as I said, if they're in the chat, and you had just, oh dude, I'm having a moment right now. Okay. So yeah, this song, I was in chat with the Drunk Turkey Show that night, freaking, I was like, because I went and immediately looked at it, and they did pull it up for a second, but there is I'm not going to play it, obviously, for copyright reasons. This would definitely get pulled down, but just looking at the lyrics, and I would encourage anybody to go right now, this is on YouTube, of course, or, I'm sure other places, Spotify, wherever, but definitely YouTube, and play this and listen to the lyrics. They're actually pretty trippy. Deandra, yeah, thank you for popping. That is the craziest timing, seriously. Like, that just tripped me out. Okay, Wandering Orphan, nice. Nice, definitely. We'll definitely talk then. Definitely, hell yeah. But yeah, Crawl, I'm just going to read them here. I'm not going to sing them. Crawl to the Window. Dude, it's weird. Okay, the song is called Pullman, Washington. Okay, released in 1998. The band Deep Blue Something. I'm not familiar with this band. Crawl to the Window. Whisper to me if it snowed. We'll plot to murder each other, and I'll be your alibi. Bind me with wire. Tell me your favorite vice, and I'll discuss my childhood if you need a sedative. But like just the outskirt of that, and listen to the vibe of the song too. I'll read all of this. The chorus. I like rain. The innocent is praying. The faded faintly childhood. Smell of plastic when it's set to burn. Angel dust. The two of us. Fresh face reminders of lessons that we'll never learn. So it's almost like a couple's song. I mean, take that however you want. I see you're sleeping. You always can, or maybe one of them thinks they're a couple, part of a couple, and one of them is not aware even, right? A little bit of a stalkerish vibe. I see you're sleeping. You always can cry if it helps. My soul is by the telephone. If you're needing sympathy and the rain won't wash away, all that you hold to be true, it remains somehow indifferent regarding the weatherman. I mean, I don't know. that out the gate part though. And again, go actually listen to that and listen to the vibe of it. But I remember that night in freaking the Drunk Turkey show, and yeah, it's freaking weird. Probably had this on in his freaking ears while doing the unalivings, if you will. It's crazy. S, thanks for popping in here from Australia. Get a lot of love from Australia. That's awesome. So, just look through this Inan Harsh Reddit thing real quick. So has anybody in the chat read this or familiar with it? I'm sure there's been YouTube channels that have went over this, right? I might even be a little bit late. I know I'm a little bit late to the party on in general. I was getting tons of people in my chat, not chats, but comments, always saying, look into Inan Harsh. And even when he was doing his interviews and stuff, I would see that stuff, but I never really dove into really any of it. Yeah, 70 people in here. Please hit that like if you're just chilling. Really appreciate it, guys. That really helps me out and gets me hopefully in the algorithm of the evil YouTube system. Share this thing as well. That really helps me out. And hell yeah, Amber R, hell yeah. Troll Be Gone popping in here. Appreciate it, guys. So yeah, let's look at old Chef Dizzy. It's been a while. It's been a wild few days, and this was right after. This is 2 months ago. This is probably, I'm saying a wild few days. I'm guessing after the murder. So that was November 13th. We're not that far out now. It's been a wild few days, and it seems there's a lot of news, misinformation, conspiracies. Now he is the conspiracy, and a lot going on about my existence right now. I'm sure many of you are curious about who I am and how I got here. I haven't had a very average life, and I'm sure to a lot of people, my beliefs, lifestyle, and actions that have many will judge and consider me immoral. I guess he's talking about the drug arrest. He has been very open about that stuff, right? That stuff ties right back into a lot of other little conspiracy stuff, issues around that area, though. But the truth is, I have a dream, a story, a perspective I'd like to share. For whoever it may touch and help, I believe in 5 things: peace, harmony, freedom, love, and happiness. I truly believe this is something human existence can reach. But unfortunately, greed and corruption has pulled us far away from that dream. And the consequences of such an impacting individuals across the globe daily. But first, I would like to send out love and empathy. I'm going to skip through here a little bit. Okay. Let's send out some love for the horrendous murders. Also, while doing interviews and cracking smiles while people are mentioning the gouge wounds. Meditating on the murders here. Let's back up a little bit. Many others are missing or probably never. What is he saying here? I can't say I have ever lost a family member, but in many parts of my life, I had to grow or survive in harsh environments. Was he making a pun there? And I have lost several close friends and some I consider family. Many others are missing or probably never to be seen again. At many points in my life, I was on my way to be one of them, meditating on the murders, and the suffering brings me to the tears sometimes daily. One day returning from work, I brought my neighbors some wine. Okay, we've heard the wine story, when they were having a small fire/party outside just to meet them. Although it was a short visit, I remember how beautiful, friendly, kind, and joyful they were. Okay, and he's also said, he's contradicted himself in multiple interviews around this exact time period, because and on his actual Reddit account, his last post was 1 month ago. So he has been inactive for, over a month now. He kept it up for a minute. So happy it instantly brightened up my day. I remember going inside and having an inspired, long, and sick flow before stretching and drilling. Kaylee or the neighbors you wanted on Greek Row. To imagine someone wanting to hurt them is beyond disbelief and is so sick. Several days ago, when I thought I was over the sadness of losing those who only brought positive thoughts to me, who he also was not familiar with at all, when I went to check my mail, I saw the postings of their faces and I started to cry. I was last week on the part 1 of this, we went over how he had contradicted himself basically by saying in one interview, I believe the police had knocked on his door, and that's how he learned about it. And he went inside and started Googling it. And I think the time frame around that would have been like 1:30 in the day. I believe Dylan Dr. Thrifty was actually talking about this in one of his videos as well. And the time frame doesn't really make sense with the way he would have been told, the way he said he Googled it and would have been able to actually see that on Google to, even the time period that the families and this started actually going out. And then I believe it didn't just instantly go viral within the first hours either. Several days ago, back to this. Again, anybody just hanging out in here, please hit that like button. Got 84 people in here. Half of you have liked it. Come on now, get on there, guys. Appreciate that, though. Several days ago, when I thought I was over the sadness of losing those who only brought positive thoughts to me. Okay, brought that. When I went to check my mail, seeing their faces and started crying, I was listening to Fallen Soldiers, Core Mega, not familiar with them, but I am familiar with Wu-Tang, and started to think not only of the recent murders, but all the friends I lost and continued to cry for hours. He's just opening up weirdly here on the Reddit here. I'm sure no one asked for this. I went to work 3 hours later, tears still pouring down my face, trying to stay calm for my duties. I could barely talk, and our grill cook could tell something was up, but I didn't know how to verbalize the feeling of losing a friend almost every other year. Feeling where you can't focus on anything but the suffering of losing a loved one, the energy burning you in like a fire, causing cuts. I'm mainly a prep cook, but the lightning speed, but sloppy. I remember almost cutting he's rambling here as well. Now he's going into almost cutting my fingers off, using anger, sadness, and other emotions to propel my movements, remembering the kindness of those now gone. And in this case, who had such a bright, happy, and free future. Kaylee, Zane, and her boyfriend. Those are the only three I remember, but I know all are amazing. We're real ass human beings. To lose them in such an incredulous loss is such an incredulous loss. I hope the family members find comfort. Let's skip here a little bit. While I don't normally support police, I understand them and do think there are some really well-intentioned and good ones in the force, as I have met a few. And in this case, I do support the homicide department and hope the predator is found and the justice is served. While I believe in freedom, there is a line you do not cross. And once you cross that line, it is time to move into the next physical existence. And once you cross that line, it is time to move on to the next physical existence. I hope the family members and close relatives can find peace. Okay. I mean, he talks really, but he does ramble a bit as well. Be Fur. I ain't seen that name. Hell yeah. Hey, yeah. You're back. Like to see that in the chat. Appreciate it. Let me catch up here just a little bit in chat. The Wandering Warfriend's gone balls Dave. Yeah, we're gonna have to get together. Definitely. Oh yeah, I see Bella's in here too. The True Crime Cafe. Hell yeah. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a drink. Again, tomorrow night we're definitely going to be getting a little bit drunk. I ain't going to be getting too wild tonight, but I did on a Thursday night. I'll pour a drink now. I've faced many near-death experiences. I've lived a reckless life, especially in my youth. I've done pretty much whatever I want in my entire life. At the same time, I have also gotten a felony. Always believed in compassion, morality, and I'm not bashing by the felony. It can happen. But, I mean, his arrest was straight up a drug dealer's arrest. I will stand by that all day long. He was arrested. Well, we read that last week. We can go back and look at it. But multiple drugs, acid, mushrooms, MDMA, weed. You know, it ain't just like he got busted with weed. You carrying all that stuff. It's almost like a festival dude running around selling drugs out of that backpack, right? And he lives on Greek Row in a party town, probably floating around the bar scene. It would be so easy to just be walking around Molly, doses, whatever. I mean, allegedly. Lost my place here. Ramble a little bit. And being the best version of yourself, I have had a lot of struggles with insecurities, incredible, naive and optimistic and extremely different and a lot of times misunderstood. Sometimes when I think about those I lost, I ask myself, why not? Why not me? But I know that's stupid, and while I'm not really religious, I do believe in purpose and destiny. Being here free and alive today, despite many odds, I truly believe I have something to offer to the world, and I'm looking at what's happening globally, and it brings me to tears to see how much suffering Sentient beings are chronically experiencing. I have a story to share, and I think it's one that can touch people in meaningful ways and raise awareness of a lot of problems in the world that many people do not see. Hopefully this will reach out those who can use, I mean, he's like talking like he's already famous at this point, or like somebody that could be like, you know, offering words of wisdom. He's like, I guess I'm going to get on Reddit and do an AMA. These people need it. Oh man, almost 100 people in here. Yo, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Dio, new name. Hell yeah. If you are just randomly hanging out in here, guys, please hit that like. It really helps me out. Again, trying to get this thing in the algo. YouTube is hard to break in. Last week we did it. Let's do it again. I'd like to see, last week we actually got to 100 likes. Let's do that again. Really would like to see that. And if you are able to share it out, YouTube really responds to sharing. And if you're not subbed up, and if you're not part of the Publicly Buzzed crew yet, do it. The Wandering Orphan just became a member tonight. I got a membership. You can do that as well. And a lot of times this content is not able to be monetized, unfortunately. And I'm terrible with the rewording and the restructuring of the words, like on aliving and stuff. I try, but I'm usually just end up saying the words. and I can get a little bit colorful with my language as well. But in the description down below, there's also ways to donate to the channel. And any of those donations that come through, then anything that we ever get goes back into the channel. Currently, because I'm just trying to really just upgrade the content that you guys can get here. But yeah, really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you guys. Hell yeah, I got up to 66. Let's go. Hell yeah. Janie, hell, newbie. It's like to see it. Vixter, hell yeah. Indiana. Marge, hell yeah. Love it. Let's go, guys. But before we go further, I'd like to, oh my God. Okay. Before we go further, I'd like to share a meditation I personally have found very powerful in my healing process. I couldn't find the book, but it is from Tibetan Heart Yoga. I'm going to look it up right now. Tibetan Heart Yoga. I'm not against yoga. I'm not anti-yoga. I'm also not against making fun of yoga. Okay. It was a book my mother gave me when I was gave me that I took for granted and let slip my gaze for almost a decade. Excuse me. Growing up homeschooled up to high school, I had a very different youth than most people in this country. I was very close to my mother, but grew distant over the years. My mother faced a lot of suffering and death in her life as well, and had a deep respect for all life, which is sacred nature. Let's skip here a little bit. I'm not trying to become a part of this dude's cult. There are two parts. Part two. Okay, still talking about them. I'm gonna skip through a little bit. Oh, okay, part one. Okay, he's literally going through. I'm gonna skip his yoga poses. Carol, member, thank you very much, Carol. Really appreciate that. Hell yeah, love it. Appreciate the hell out of that, guys. Yeah, and anybody's gonna become a member, man. If y'all look through the tiers, you know, I'm gonna be definitely trying to go above and beyond. Definitely love that. Grow this community. Keep it going, guys. Yeah, and we got 67 likes. Let's get that up there. Give me to 75, huh? Let's get to 75. All right. I'm skipping the yoga. I'm going to skip the yoga here. Okay. So listen to how pompous this is. He just gave us 2 steps for yoga and then goes, now that your light is more brilliant and expansive, it's time to think about someone you care deeply about and who is suffering. What are we doing? Imagine them sitting in front of you with their own diamond and flower. The light is dim and the diamond is barely an ember. Yet something is wrong. You can tell. All right. All right. Getting down through here. Getting through I'm not reading all that. Now that both the flowers are bright and radiating expansive, brilliant light, imagine your diamonds emitting a beam of golden light. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. A lot of information. Wow. He's in a trance state, guys. All right. He had to get in a trance state on Reddit to be able to properly tell us about his neighbors being murdered. A lot of information and misinformation have been dug up about me. A lot of false media as well. The initial media came from a dope fiend butthurt, and I'd like to share my version and set the record straight. It said my car was used in a robbery. My car was in a fucking mechanic shop at the time. 12 years ago, I was charged with second-degree robbery with a stolen firearm, felony possession of mushrooms, MDMA, meth, and opiates, I think. All charges were dropped, rightfully so. And I went to prison for possession with intent to deliver MDMA. Okay, so maybe there's a little bit more to the story that I read last week. Whatever I looked up last week, it did, state that he was arrested for all this. Okay, so maybe, somehow they got maybe they worked out a deal to where he would only, and he ended up doing a year, but only for the MDMA. Maybe they tried to cut him a little bit of slack. So maybe that much would have sent him away for a lot longer. And I would imagine it would. Let me see here. Growing up, I was a very gifted student that was able to excel with putting minimal time into activities. I found myself with a lot of free time. As a teen, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, nor did I have any concrete sense of purpose or destiny. I was a bit of an outcast socially, but also very mature, but also very childlike. In my youth, I ended up hanging with much older people. I was dating a 21-year-old at the age of 16. Getting weed was hard back then. I remember it always taking a long time. Equally, half the time was ass, and your bags were pinched or stolen sometimes. I ended up knowing some people, so I started hooking my friends up. After a while, I was tired of all the bullshit of second man shit, and he's going to take us down his drug road here. And I felt like I could do it better. He's who gives marijuana a bad name, right? He started out with weed and he's like, man, I got to amp it up, bro. We got to keep going. I partly did it to support my own weed habit. I partly did it because I was tired. And here's somebody who's calling it a weed habit, bro. Come on. I partly did it because I was tired of seeing my friends, and I ripped them off all the time. I'm a believer in freedom and Einstein. And in particular, I believe the government should not play a role of a mother. People have to learn how to make their own. I can just imagine him hopped up, just writing this out, like, let's go. And I believe all drugs should be legal. So there is a safer, I'm sure you do, because you wouldn't have a felony right now. There's a safer and fairer space when it comes to substance. This would not only create purer, safer drugs, it would also make them cheaper, and the people addicted to such substances wouldn't feel so alienated and would be more inclined to seek the help they need, the way alcohol is not treated as a drug socially. But substances like MDMA, that while mostly party drugs, also have clinical users that are treated like the devil. This guy just wants to party, bro. He just wants to go. Almost to 75 likes. Keep it going, guys. Almost there. Trying to get to 100, though. 71's pretty damn good. Appreciate it. Let me get a drink here. I just brought one down tonight. I did make it a double, though. Mary Rose, new name. See you in here. Hell yeah. Went to jail at 16. The wandering orphan. I'm this close to buying a whiteboard index cards and yelling, yeah, I hear you. Buzz, thank you for covering this. No one is going into this hardcore yeah, man. Yeah, and last week I just got started getting a little bit deeper into this dude. Again, I didn't, even when this was going on live, when he was doing all the interviews and stuff, I don't know why I blew it off. I blew it off as just like this guy's, like everyone really was kind of saying, he's kind of going in for it maybe for the 15 minutes, which is fucked up. I mean, how is this guy going to come in and be like, I want to get my 15 minutes of fame, whatever the hell this is that we're reading right now. This memoir of whatever the hell this is, off of the murders of the Idaho 4, of those kids that live next to him, is absolutely gross. I mean, I'm just going to say it, dude. I'd tell that to him if he wants to come on here. A few of my friends would have get-togethers every few months and have a rave. MDMA back then was sketchy as fuck. In another market I wanted to change for my community, we were all partying 20, 25, 30 a pill, and not always knowing what we were getting. So I bought a testing kit and started doing shit myself again. I probably would have made a lot of money. What is this? But instead I would do things like buy an ounce of weed and smoke it at night with a group of 20 people. I was on probation for drinking at high school football games and on curfew. So on weekends I would wait for curfew lady to call twice. Then would climb out window. Is that his mom? Curfew lady? Get ride to town, take a bus to West Side, get back in time for school on Monday. Okay, we're gonna skip here a little bit. I was napping at the homies, bro. Some opiate fiend came in to buy some shit, saw a couple of rolls, 100 ecstasy pills, a quap of weed. I've never actually heard a guap of weed. Am I reading that right? The QP? It's QP, quarter pound. Picked it up and ran out the door. Our friends told me this dude took a bunch of pills, but they know where he lives from a mutual friend. At the time, a couple of people in our group started smoking meth and ended up getting some crazy tweaker shit from them. I wanted no part in it, so I did my best to stay out of that field. I had morals and rules, and meth definitely went past what I could believe, and was comfortable with. Yet I also stayed out of what wasn't my business anyways. Anyway, since they woke me up from a nap, I felt that I could do anything about, I should do something about too. I happen to know someone there who I smoked oxy with a few times. Hey, dude, I'm not going to do meth. You know, meth is out the window, but smoking oxys, bro, let's go. What is happening? What are we reading? I walked up to the back door and pretended I was fiending for opiates. The dude said he could get some, but it was 120. I would never pay over 80. Oh, he's got levels now. But I was like, sure. So he let inside and we waited. I saw the rolls I had picked up on the west side that weekend, the west side, I think, on the table. And the QP of weed, I didn't know he stole the weed or I would have picked up that too. He's rambling again. I don't even know what he's really saying. I picked up the rolls and ran for the back door. He followed. Is he just saying how shitty he is at this time period and tried to stop me? So with the rolls clutched in my hand, I started bashing on his head with my fist until he let go. His friend was right there. I remember looking at him, expecting him to try to help him, but I think he knew what was up. So he put his hands out and was like, I'm good. I ain't beefing with you, bro. So I opened the back door and left. This piece of shit followed and jumped on me from behind, and I called for backup. My two friends came running from the parking lot and held him back, knowing how he snitched and lied to the police to us. When he wasn't even looking and getting arrested, sometimes I think about how I should beat the shit out of him. As a pacifist, he's thinking about beating the shit out of somebody, but I am a pacifist. I had the drugs, so we left. You know, it's all right, bro. It's cool, man. I'm just going to steal these. The neighbors had a commotion and called the cops. We tried to throw everything from the house in the car and go out the side parking lot, but we missed a turn, and our teammate said something he shouldn't, and the police got probable cause. And then we all got fucked. As this dude happened to have a medical marijuana license. He said we showed up trying to steal his medical marijuana. I remember reading that as part of this, actually, I believe last week. Anything else? Not all this, just that part. And he stole from us. They found the stolen pistol and boom, second robbery. A part of me wishes I did shoot the piece of shit and left. He's a pass. He just said he's a pass. He's endlessly contradicting himself. Somebody made a comment on, I think, one of my videos. I think it was the last one. I don't remember who it was, and I'm not going to call about. But I mean, he was like, taken up for hard, and I'm not bashing the guy like into the ground, but I mean, what I am saying is what we see in publicly, and it's endless contradictions. The guy endlessly contradicts himself in real time, and he did this in one paragraph here. I'm going to read it again. As part of me wishes I did shoot this piece of shit and left, but karma's a bitch and life goes on, and I don't have much luxury to spend a lot of times with thoughts like that. So I don't know. One more to 75 likes. If you're in here and you haven't hit like, please do that. We'll get right there real quick in real time. We're trying to get to 100 likes tonight, guys. Party UV5, thanks for popping in here. A lot of people in here. Hell yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Casey, hell yeah. Nice. A lot of Australia peeps in here. Yeah, we get a lot of LB. Nice to see you. We get a lot of peeps from Sylvia. Nice to see you. We get a lot of peeps from the UK. Oh, 76. There we go. That's what I like to see. From the UK and Australia. Love it, man. Hell yeah. All right. Where the hell was I? Oh yeah, he was shooting somebody. I was in country for a week. They wanted a speedy trial after they found out I didn't rob this dude with a pistol and offered me 2 weeks for felony possession of marijuana. My lawyer advised me to wait. The 16-year-old dumbass to me knew better to take the 2 weeks, but I listened to my lawyer and tried to get all the felonies off my records and ended up doing a year instead. Looking back, what a fucking joke. So was he in an adult prison at 16? Was it that bad? Because I mean, at 16, a lot of times you go to a juvie situation. It sounds like he was into some real adult weird drug shit, though. Actually, in prison, I learned how to shoot up, as well as how to be humble and grateful. It's quiet. It's quite sad that it's quite sad that the people who struggle, usually from environmental, mental, and biological factors, who need the most help and mentorship, are given the most neglect. Many had abusive, meth-addicted parents with no financial stability. Let me change this up here. Just real quick. And eventually, through suffering and neglect, they fall into the same footsteps and do unthinkable things. The fact that most of our society still lives on the laws our government had been feeding us for decades about drugs, the way lowest income bracket populations and minorities are demographically contained in ways to make it hard to get out of poverty, violence, and drug abuse in their communities is heartbreaking to me. When I got out, I didn't really have any plans because I didn't think I would make it past the age of 20 to 24. I did drugs heavily, usually recreationally. But after prison, I didn't start developing more addictive personality traits and became a bit more estranged. You don't say. I started getting into speedballs. And at one point in my life, speedballs, coke, and heroin, I believe. At one point in my life, I have been, and all this knowledge is from movies, folks. Lots of documentaries, too. I'm a media fiend. At one point in my life, I was having an OD almost every month. Okay. I remember one time taking 3 shots of whiskey, then a speedball on top, and then waking up butt naked with my friends giving me CPR in the shower. Having friends like these was something I'm internally grateful for, because in most similar environments, this isn't always likely. He basically woke up every month, at least once a month. He was basically that scene from Pulp Fiction when they stick the needle in old chick's heart. Like, get him to the bathtub. Let me see, where was that? Spending a lot of time driving and on desolate roads. I got really comfortable at driving fast. I worked my way up to 110, 120. Where is this coming from? And wanted to do more, but my car couldn't go faster. I was usually going over 30 on speed limits on any given day, any given time. Almost drove off the bridge going into Seattle, hitting some black ice, and a few other times I thought I was done for good, but have somehow managed to be still living. That was the most random paragraph yet, and there's been a lot of freaking random paragraphs. Jessica Murphy, thanks for popping in here. Hell yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I think he's probably under the gag order. I just popped in and seen that real quick because he hasn't really said anything. In his Reddit account hasn't been active for a month now. I bet that's what's going on. All right. After I was released, I went from 130 pounds to 180. I fasted for 3 days and went vegan. So here we go. I was a vegetarian up to the age of 18, and some point before going to prison for a second time, I decided just to run. I was living in a community in the mountains at that point and didn't see why I would leave or something would happen. But this dude came by to go up to Hemp Fest, and we slept in a park that night, and the police came and saw I had a warrant for dealing MDMA, and I got deported back to Washington. The Hemp Fest before that, I ended up parking my car in the wrong spot where it got towed, and I dropped 4 hits of acid of some random strangers for some weed. And while I was walking, there was this homeless dude who asked me for some money for some food. I was like, I got food, but money, and starting to reaching for some organic snacks. And he freaked the fuck out. Organic snacks. I had, but he was all angry. And he said, I don't want your garbage. Oh, dude, I was just guessing. But he was actually like, what? I don't want no, I'll starve first on the streets before I eat that shit. Oh, God. Okay. I was really taken aback. I think he means growing up in a small ass community with no homeless people, but I realized I had never been homeless or in a situation where nobody wants your fucking vegan food. So I couldn't really judge him. So walking around listening to Aesop Rock, I decided I should see what it's like living without a stable source of shelter or food. He's like, I'll just be homeless because I'm going to be homeless. So I hopped a train and rode it, trying to get as far away from civilization as possible. He literally became a hobo. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the true story of Inan Harsh, the little hobo. What is happening, guys? Hell yeah. Chloe's mom from the Drunk Turkey Show. Appreciate it. Yeah, tomorrow. Definitely be on the stream. Hopefully both streams. I'm going to be going live directly after the Drunk Turkey Show. And yeah, me and my brother Dan are going to be guests on there tomorrow night, guys. Really excited about that. 140 people in here right now. And I'm trying to get 100 likes, guys. Please, if you're in here right now just hanging out, please hit that like. Share this. That really helps me out. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. A lot of new people coming in here the last few weeks. And I really appreciate it, guys. We're trying to grow this community. Have a bunch of new members coming in as well. Yeah, appreciate it. Seriously. I can't even read that name. FAA Uki 420 Mama. What in the meth trailer park else is going on in Moscow? Right? That whole little area, man. Pullman, Moscow. And it is a little area. At some point I hopped off. Okay, back to the hobo story. At some point I hopped off and was walking on the tracks in a beach in a forest. Not too long, I decided to plump. Okay, not too long, I noticed a plump Asian lady in a beautiful house with okay, I need another drink. I may need to see the dog again. Lord. Okay. Okay. Plump Asian lady in a beautiful house with almost all see-through windows looking out at. I had not succeeded, but I still felt peace. My goal was to walk until I no longer felt an inch of greed in my body and only peace. He's turning into Jesus, dude. So I fasted and walked and lit a fire on the tracks, using it as a blanket for the night, I think he means to say. I remember reading a book in prison called The Homeless Man. Do you mean homeless? And it has motivated me to this very day. It's about a dude who, okay, maybe it is homeless. It's about a dude who sources all the problems of the world to money, and the only way to be a solution is to stop using it. But being reasonable and resourceful, he raised $1,000-ish in cash to get a tent, water, sourced food for co-ops that had to throw up food after certain dates, but were still good usually for a bit. Biked everywhere, built his thing away from town, and did it for like 3 months. After realizing how much he liked it, he wanted to make plans later to do it for a prolonged period of time. At some point after a few days, I remember reaching my goal, looking at a tree and feeling, and also while breathing in the winds, looking towards on the water, just picture this, on the tracks, and being able to feel every electrifying sensation in the wind throughout my whole body. I remember the feeling so good. For a moment, I glimpsed the thought of suicide. This is such a great moment. I'm just going to end it now. Knowing that once I re-entered civilization and society, I would never be able to experience something as satisfying. I think as we grow, though, there is always new realizations that allow us to reach new peaks. Whew, almost to 100, guys. 96. Hell yeah, 4 more likes. If you're hanging out here and you haven't hit that thumb, do it. 4 more, guys. Almost there. Appreciate the hell out of it, though. I'm going to roll back up here just to see a little bit of chat, because it's definitely got way away from me here tonight. Yep, talking about Dr. Thrifty there. I've been going through some of his stuff, man. He does cool work. He just kind of like looks... He's literally got, I guess, a phone or a camera looking at a computer screen, and like he does it with a pen. He's just kind of showing you what's going on, but I really like it. It's different. I'm digging it. Yeah, part 2 of the conspiracy stream, guys. Yeah, and initially lied about being at the grub truck, right, Mary? And then had to be basically, you know, like, look, that's you, dude, before he would admit it. So 2 more thumbs, guys. We're right there. Hit him. Hey, man. And that's honestly, even in this is Carol, I think the drugs have seriously messed his brain chemistry. In the interviews, you can really kind of get that vibe. Like, that's probably the best way to put it. Actually, he's kind of burnt out, I guess, is the way you'd actually put it. And I see maybe there's a little bit of a disagreement. Hey, man, totally. It's welcome here. I mean, as long as we're just all being humans, man. Party UV5. I think I called you out. Thank you for being here. Hell yeah. Yeah. See people talking about the Drunk Turkey Show, please. Dana Draper, thank you for popping in. Hope you're having a good Thursday night. Oh my God. Yeah. And definitely have some bourbon tomorrow night, Wandering Orphan. Yeah. If I was going to come on here tonight and do this, I knew that I needed a little bit of alcohol. And again, I got to work tomorrow, so I didn't want to get too thrashed, but I mean, talking about this shit. And again, what are we reading? What am I reading? I'm actually not sure. It's a manifesto of a drugged out felon. And again, I keep saying that it's almost like I'm just bashing a felon, because I mean, it happens. I actually have personal friends that have been felons, and it does happen. But I will again go back and reiterate why he is a felon and what he had to plead down to. But he had numerous amounts of drugs, and I think he was probably selling a lot of party drugs in this town. I mean, at least in that area, and that was when he was younger. I mean, and now the questions are still being raised. Jessica Christie, thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. Hell yeah. And we did it. Hell yeah. Those likes are still moving up. I'm watching them in real time go up. Hell yeah. 107. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Hell yeah. All right, let's jump back into this shit. All right. When I realized there were many others like me out there by choice, I never stopped and carried a sign. He had just contemplated suicide after seeing the most beautiful thing in the world. I remember as if by God, everything was provided. One time I was just walking down Seattle, and this couple walking out of a restaurant looked at me with a box of high-end cuisine and stopped me and said, "You need this more than us." And eating the most yummy Asian noodles in my life, others showed me where non-profit kitchens were and taught me how to survive. Only first few days were hard. At some point I ran into some anarchists and squatted up for like a week. Eventually I was braiding some hemp at a QFC, and this dude who had been eating there for a while looked at me and was like, "Yo, you want a place to stay?" And I was like, "Sure." We walked to the Fremont from Capitol Hill, and he lived in a dope ass place and with every type of book of learning you could imagine. I spent my time there landscaping one of his projects he wanted to do and reading books. We met his friends, and they were very cool and introduced me to the Dalai Lama. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to one of these music festivals, and that's what I kind of referenced that to earlier. I almost guarantee that's what he was probably doing, at least at some point in his life, like selling drugs at these festivals. And a lot of that stuff does get tied up with like actual groups. You know, I'm not going to call them, cartel's not the right word at all, but like just drug groups, right? That will send out almost like mules at these things to sell drugs. But I don't know if anybody's been to these music festivals, and especially like Bonnaroo or something, but if you kind of walk around, there's all these dudes lurking around that are trying to give you this like Dalai Lama stuff. And I'm not going to sit here and bash Dalai Lama, but that goes right hand in hand with this kind of lifestyle that, some of these guys might be living possibly or potentially. Another one of the books my mother got me, he's calling her the mother this time. I forgot what he called her earlier. It wasn't his mother. Was called How to Expand Love by the Dalai Lama. As a kid, it seemed really corny, but as I grew older, I became to realize how powerful of a book it was all along with Buddhism throughout the years. And again, I'm not bashing Buddhism or the Dalai Lama whatsoever, but I'm saying that goes hand in hand with something that, if anybody is familiar with a scene like a music festival where you're going to see these dudes lurking, and I'm going to say lurking at all times because they're there for a purpose. They're not there to watch the music. They're there to sell a lot of drugs. Throughout the years, I became a big follower and spent most of my time reading and meditation on his concepts, however imperfect of an individual I am. Also came to realize that the dude on the street was just a hater, and I should pay people that no mind, which brought me a lot of peace as I rejoined society in an effort to help alleviate of its suffering with whatever wisdom, skills, and teachings I could offer. Okay, it's coming back into the real world now, guys. Wild Cherry, thank you for popping in here. New name, appreciate it. Hope you hit that like. Yeah, 114. We have hit my goal for the night. I appreciate the hell out of that, guys. Thank you so much. Hell yeah, 164 hanging out in here. Appreciate it, man. And if you haven't subscribed, do it. Please subscribe. Yeah, I love it. Hell yeah, keep this thing growing. We're going to dive back in here. He's trying to come back into society. All right, I don't know if it was the best decision, but I believe or tell it to make me feel better that everything happens for a reason. I had warrants. I met my family in Seattle, went home and served my times. Although I wonder what my life would be like if I had stayed living in Seattle, trying to learn and grow as much as possible. He could probably be dead. Just for the life that it sounded like. I mean, the guy, I guess, that invited you to his house, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe that's where it started. I mean, but you're already in the drug. I mean, how bad is the drug scene in this area? I mean, at every turn so far, he's run into drugs, actually. During one of my re-ups, getting a re-up, that is getting drugs. My Connect gave me a tour of Seattle, and ended up randomly buying this book by Bikram called Bikram Yoga, Back to the Yoga, at this hippie shop downtown. I only read up to the warm-up series, but this is one of the books and disciplines that have given me the tools of safe passage almost all my life. He talks about Americans and their problems, and how the body and mind needs to be maintained like a car. The right way is the hard way. I religiously did the warm-up series in their entirety, along with the Tibetan heart yoga. I'm doubling up on it. The potency of its effects on my happiness, mood, health and well-being were undeniable, and ended up dedicated a big portion of my life to yoga. And many times it was my only tool of survival in many of the constrained and restricted environment I had to learn how to grow, and while everyone around me was drowning. But it was also really about the festival life. This dude, okay, let's read here. Maybe he admits it. Maybe he said, I grew up very connected to art and music, and the scenes I saw there were always what I wanted to be. I was at a festival one time yelling Molly, and ended up selling some to a guy that a cop saw. Dude, I just said that. Dude, he was one of those fucking guys at the concerts walking around saying headies, Molly, doses. And those dudes are like, he ended up selling some to a guy that a cop saw. I was a small timer. I had less than a gram and less than $150 on me. I ended up going to prison for another year. Dude, he's leaving out some stuff here, man. I almost, allegedly, this guy was probably in a ring of dudes that would hit these festivals and sell drugs like this. Like, I'm telling you, man. Keister Bunny, thanks for popping in here. Appreciate it. Hell yeah. Every time I pop over, I see a new name. And thank you very much, yes. Thank you, Troll. Hell yeah. Appreciate it, everybody. Hit that like. Let's go. And if you're not subbed up, sub up, guys. And please hit the three little dots on the side, because YouTube sucks and they are terrible at actually sending out notifications. Hit all notifications so you can get notified, basically. All right. I can't believe that. I was talking about that earlier. I had not seen this before, guys. This time I wanted to refocus on my art and life, since it was becoming more and more apparent I wasn't going to die when I thought. Years of surviving made me thrive to build a sustainable and healthy life for myself. I applied and went to Evergreen State Setup Orientation. It was the week after I got out of prison for the second time. I went to the fine arts and did music and dance composition. Ended up learning how much I love shooting up coke, and found access and started getting addicted to IV coke. What is IV coke? I met another girl and this dude is not, this is not a, you can tell by me just reading, this is not a normal drug lifestyle. Even if you smoke weed and hey, on the weekend you do a little coke, and I'm not even saying that's normal, because I would never do that, but that's way more normal than whatever the hell this dude's doing. It's like, I got really into the music scene and the dance scene, and the art scene was great, and man, the IV coke was out of this fucking world. Like, that's not a normal statement. I met another girl very similar to me who also loved to shoot up coke, but mostly opiates. I left a bunch of drugs and money at her place right before. Dude, and he lives right next to these girls. Allegedly, again, because the drug talk that's coming into play. So again, this is a conspiracy stream. But days later, it wasn't stolen and she returned it. When we found out that each other was a trustworthy person that still had beliefs and values, despite shooting up a lot of drugs, we became very close and started hanging out all the time, because that was a rare ass quality. I remember loving spilling all this out on Reddit. Why? I remember loving being over there because of her positive attitude. We stood up and stay up for like 3 to 4 days. I never felt bad withdrawals or come downs, just cause she was so fun and pleasant to be around. We would sometimes sleep for 25 hours straight because you had been awake for 5 days straight. I had to take UAs every week. So we'd go hard, sit through our come down / withdrawals, go to school during the week, get our shit down, and then do it all over again. Absolute insane lifestyle. But I felt like we made it our pretty good, all things considered. I remember when I would eventually walk to my house. I lived downtown. She lived towards campus. And this is right on campus, right in this, all right? And whether it's in Pullman or Moscow, they're not that far apart. It was like a 4-mile walk. And I remember walking over the bridge, looking over the water with an unimaginable feeling of fatigueless, but finding some comfort in water and stairs until I made it Made it to the long ass steps that led up towards Capitol Way. I think a lot of people that I spent my youth in a den shooting. I think a lot of people think I spent my youth in a den shooting up a bunch of drugs. I think that's what you literally just told us. S, are you out of here? Thank you, S, for popping in tonight. Really appreciate it. Hope that you're subbed up and hope to see you in a live chat. Come in tomorrow night. Really appreciate it, guys. There's 171 people in here. Please hit that like. Appreciate it. Hell yeah. Dude, it's craziness. I can't, I don't even know. It's craziness. All right. I got to get through this. This is long as shit. I might have to make a part 3 of the rest of this fucking Reddit thread here. All right. I got to take a second. Yeah, okay, Pookie. I've heard that here too recently, the 2 apartments thing. If this is true, did he deal drugs out of that apartment? I've heard that recently, allegedly, right? And possibly also at job because I've worked with drug dealers because I did restaurant work. And that's same here. Anita P, good evening, everyone. I'm from North Central Florida. Hello from Florida, Anita. I hope you're subbed up. And I hope that you've hit like. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming in here. Been a wild one. I'm telling you, this one's blowing me away right now. I'm almost finished my drink, which is not good. Marge, bro. Okay, so he's rollerblading with a Newport cigarette fanny pack full of drugs at the campus. That's how I'm picturing it. That's how I'm picturing it. Screaming Molly, doses. Deandra, when he was caught and everybody found out that he was actually studying criminology, did anybody else for a second contemplate that maybe he was stalking a serial killer to study him? I'd wager. I'd wager. All right, guys. All right. Calming down here. I'm trying to get my head straight. Woo! Okay, I think a lot of people... Yeah, that's what you've been telling us. Yeah, that's right. He'd just been telling us that I think a lot of people think that I've probably been shooting up my entire youth in a den. Well, that would be true. But this isn't true. I only did that several times a month. Only a few times a month was I shooting up pills in my arm. My preferred activity was to eat 5 grams of mushrooms or 4 times of acid, put on some ASAP rock, and go 10+ mile walks. It wasn't until college that I started doing harder drugs over psychedelics. Sometimes after my UA, I would preload 10 Coke shots and shoot up. I've never even heard some of and shoot up in the bathroom every 20 minutes during class. I was in a poetry class, so it was pretty dope. Man, that sounds awesome. Badass. I'd take a fat ass shot and then go to class and write a bunch of poetry, dog. In all honesty, it was pretty dope. All right. I really can't believe he's spilling this out like this. This is crazy. I wish I'd have looked into this earlier. This is freaking crazy. Oh, man. Party UV, News Nation, breaking news. Kohberger's lawyers cleared of conflict of interest, I guess, with Zaina's mom there. One time on my way to my dealer's house on campus, another girl that I didn't hang out with much wanted to tag along. I got some coke, of course. She got some heroin, of course. And we went to her place on campus to bang it up. She took hers, I took mine, and then dropped my needle cap out the window. I went outside to grab it and tried to come back in. No answer. Knocked again. Her roommate came in and let me in. I didn't see her, so I went to the kitchen. She was on the floor and foam/bubbles coming out of her mouth. I always thought being around death wouldn't faze me after all I've been through, but I felt her pulse and couldn't find it or breathing or a heart, and panic levels shot up to 1,000. I also had just took 0.12 gram Sheen shot. Never heard of that. I remember wanting nothing more than for her to live. I dragged her to the bathroom, grabbed all the illicit shit I saw in my currency glance, threw it in my backpack, and gave it to the first person I knew outside. They didn't know I shot up, but were pretty cool about the situation. I was 10 seconds total of me opening the door, seeing a friend, and yo, I need you to take this ASAP. I went back inside and started running cold water on her. Well, that's fucked up. What? You had to get rid of the fucking dope in the bag before you started helping her? Wasn't really working due to awkwardness of space, so I reevaluated and started pumping her chest and giving mouth to mouth. Her roommate came in and asked if she should call the cops. I said, I don't know. Well, here's the fucking problem, right? Asked if she should call the cops. I don't know. And she was like, I'm calling the cops. And I was like, okay. About a minute later, I had her breathing again and a huge sigh of relief. Hey, don't worry. Don't call the cops. Everything's cool in here. She's totally fine. This is good. And do you remember when, like, you have people with siblings out there with a sister or brother, you would fight. And if you're the older one, which was me, and Dan's not in here, I don't believe right now, but in the chat anyways, but, you know, you get in that situation where you're like, you know, accidentally hurt them a little too much and the parents are just in earshot and they start to freak out and you're like, no, chill out. It's all good. It's all good. That's what just happened with this dude and his chick ODing. And the lady saying, should I call 911? And he's like, no, I don't know. Like, what in the world is happening? All right. That blew my mind a little bit. And he's just spilling this out here on Reddit right now. All right. Please don't call the cops. She said as a knock came on the door and I'm like, they're already here. Girl never took out her fentanyl wash earlier that day in her spoon, so she used to shoot up the heroin she got from my dealer's house and instantly OD'd. Normally in Washington, in these situations, you're protected by something called the Good Samaritan Act, but they don't do laws on Evergreen campus. They bypassed it and kicked us both out of school. I wonder why. The biggest thing that happened to me in Evergreen, though, was Circus Club. A super amazing, super cute girl pulled me aside one day, and then she said, please don't murder me. Remember the hitchhiker story from last week? One day, and to teach me to some hoop tricks, they beguiled me into Circus Club, where I discovered contact staff and instantly fell in love. I remember at a festival time high on acid, seeing some dude do some fire contact staff and thinking it was the dopest shit ever. We met 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. So that's where I started my drilling. So the fire thing is called drilling. Even though I bought my own sticks and used my progression and practice to kick my coke use, I got deep into my practice and healed a lot of my past wounds with trauma. You know, if he did kick a lot of this stuff, props to him. But what I just read that he did with the lady, and he self-admittedly did this, is one of the worst things I've even read. That's very messed up. Yeah, no sympathy for me, dude. Like, that's not... And he just, ran right past that. It's almost just like, let me tell you this story. At some point in my life, I realized you couldn't just do drugs. It was later in life. It took a lot of drugs, but here we are, as they are not an activity in and of themselves. After I got kicked out of Evergreen, I started going to school online, gathering some equipment and making hip hop music. I had rules. When I did shoot up coke, eventually I had to be creating art or music while I was high. So I'd set up everything, put on some beats, take a fatty shot, then rap over them. At some point, the coke took control and I found myself spending hours searching the floor instead of making music. That was when I realized I had a problem and had to cut myself off because there was no excuse to do drugs and search your carpet instead of creating something worthwhile. Wow. This shit is crazy, dude. It's really blowing my mind, like, that he's just this forthcoming with all this information. Cecilia, Ian is a liability to any drug dealer. He is a blabbermouth. I hope he knew Bryan. He spills it like he does, right? Yeah, because if he is a part of this, he's probably who was being talked to. And he's like, yeah, man, there's this guy. He's one of my close neighbors in Pullman. And it seems like he was planning this and losing his university job sent him over the edge in the psychotic rage. Keister Bunny, happy little trees and mushrooms and needles and pop quiz on Friday. Sylvia, talking to Keister there. Lee Myrick, I heard that Ian had family living in the area that BK drove to that night. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I've heard that basically it lines right up with the path that he took, where his parents or his family was living. The True Crime Cafe. That's the thing drug dealers, they don't talk about themselves like this. Good point. Candace, I always thought most dealers don't partake themselves. Yeah, he's a shitty one. Definitely. He's an addict. That is what he is. He's an addict. And he hasn't stopped doing drugs one time in this story. And maybe we're coming out of it now. Wandering Orphan, some definitely do. Troll be gone, smart ones don't use, right? Marge, no Narcan lying around, right? That'd have been good for that situation. Yeah, man. Wait 8 hours to call 911. That story was, I had to stop. He called my tracks the way he just said it, and it was even just like, don't call 911. Like, that's messed up, man. Yeah, he's right there. Start snowboarding, Pookie. Oh, thank you very much. Wandering Orphan. Hey, the one thing that we're going to keep it here on Publicly Buzzed is real. Suspect that always, guys. Keister Bunny, if you look at this carefully, the things he doesn't fill in are what makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up a bit. I agree. Just say no to hip hop. I was thinking that maybe BK did this because he was applying at that police department in the same area, and he figured if he can come and solve a murder case, he can be a hero and further his career. Probably something to that effect. Pookie, he's the one who posted the crazy Pullman, Washington music day of the murders. Yeah, I mean, Julie Johnson, thank you for popping in here. From North Carolina, Wilkes County. Hell yeah. That's not too far. Definitely with a couple of hours, but thank you for popping in here. Hoping you're subbed up, Julie. And hopefully everybody in here is hitting liked. We're about to hit 150 likes, guys. Appreciate the hell out of that. If you're just hanging out in here, please do that. Really helps me out. Sylvia, I think he believes he is writing a screenplay, a shitty one to say the least. I cannot handle this, and he raps. It's... It does. It seems like it's written by a 5-year-old. I agree. Dio, that's an interesting theory. The True Crime Cafe, I'm a retired paramedic. If this dude did half of what he said, he wouldn't have been here to write this. It's a good point too, right? Because it does seem excessive as hell. And I know that drug addicts can get pretty deep in shit, but yeah, he's like talking about some real insane, high-level addictive drugs. Chloe's mom, I heard they are going to start giving out Narcan. Now I see why. Yeah, this stuff does happen a lot. RV and keep it rolling. Thank you for popping in here. Hell yeah, new here. Yeah, please go back and watch some old stuff. Last week I did the first one of these, but I have a lot of content on there, and I do a lot of other stuff outside of just the Idaho stuff as well. But yeah, thank you for coming in here. Really appreciate it. Just hit 151 likes. Thank you, guys. Just hit 200 people watching. Hell yeah. Thanks everyone for being in here. Appreciate it. Zine informant. I've heard that many times spokenly. That affidavit reminds me of the Delphi hot mess. Candace, I think you're right there. Keister Bunny. BK wrote a rap too. Is vegan too? Opiate history too? Around the same age. Strange similarities. Wonder if the 12 trips to the area around King Road. That's a good point. Possibly where he lived right next to him. Was he coming? There's the possible drug connection, and we know that BK, Kohberger did heroin, man. And when we're hearing all this connection, there's too many eerie similarities. Too many coincidences. And I know this whole freaking area seems like they're on drugs, but was he coming into that area to buy drugs from Inan? I hope I'm saying that right. Harsh. And then they start talking and discussing. Maybe they met from that fucking survey that he put out, right? They became buddies. He's going there to buy drugs from Inan, who is admittedly somebody that was going to these festivals selling drugs. Something that I even had in mind before I read that, which was freaking me out a little bit. As soon as I came up on that, I was like, oh shit, that's the vibe I got, man. And then while he's there, they thinking, there's these kids that live over here. They're not very far. We can see pretty easily inside their house from this angle. We've all seen the area. I mean, are we putting this together right now? Let's all throw allegedly on this. This is a conspiracy stream, whatever. But a lot of this makes a lot more sense than it should. Quite honestly. Drunk Turkey, hell yeah. Hey, Drunk Turkey, this is actually 2 months old, man. This is the Reddit post, and I don't want to lose my place here, but this is the Reddit post by Data When You Sleep, which is Inan Harsh. And this is the craziest shit that he's just put out here for the world to see. But yeah, Drunk Turkey Show, I've been putting over our show tomorrow. Really freaking pumped. Ricky Cougarback's in here. That's my brother Dan. Hell yeah. Everybody's pumped up, man. I'm really excited, dude. Hell yeah. Chat's going crazy. Yeah, this shit's wild though. I'm gonna go back in here a little bit further, man. I gotta get my head straight. Because this is crazy. Like, I've had my mind blown multiple times by this. All right. I was living at home, spending all my time practicing contact yoga. We're back to yoga. Staff and yoga. 2-ish years later, I undertook 200 yoga teacher training and started teaching yoga. The training had unreal effects on me. I kicked habits I struggled with for almost a decade and a month, and became one of the best versions of myself. Eventually, I had a bad breakup, got really depressed, and started shooting up heroin and coke and my life slowly started slipping apart again. I had to stop teaching yoga and eventually cut ties with studio I was at. Oh, just saw a $5 super chat coming here. Dave H, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh man, finally home from the hospital after 3 weeks. I saw that update and I did actually donate to you the other night when we were talking about that. Now, hopefully a lot of people came through for you. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're back, man. Dave was in a terrible car accident and has been in the hospital for a while, but I'm glad to hear you're back home, brother. That's terrible. Though my desire to stop my recent depression, I got a job as a dishwasher at a fine local dining breakfast joint. I remember loving every second. The first catering we had, I shot up a bunch of coke before going through work and was stressing the owners would see my track marks. He's back on coke though. He would just said he was trying to quit drugs. Like, there's never not a moment that he's not doing drugs. Hard drugs. I brought some coke in capsules to swallow. I mean, dude, how hardcore are you? You're all the time shooting up coke, doing coke. You're bringing coke in capsules. There's coke terms in here I've never even heard of before. I brought some coke in capsules to swallow so I wouldn't go through withdrawals at work. I remember having so much fun. Even when coming down, I completely forgot about the capsules. And before I knew it, the night was over and I was feeling good. Back then I knew I had a problem, so I would only buy a half a G at a time. I would do it right before my dealer went to bed, so I couldn't get any more after he was gone. Eventually, that's how he's quitting. He's like, he's asleep now. Eventually, my passions took priority and most distractions took a back seat, the main one being coke. I found myself with a lot of time, a lot of money. For me, I probably spent around $600 a week on shooting up coke back then. A lot of energy and passion. I worked up from singles to triple staff, financed a new hybrid, and got my own apartment. Is that the one in Pullman or is that the one in Moscow? Over 100 applications to get one, over 600 to get a job. Life as a felon. I slowly moved my way up at work to prep, then pantry, then flat. Then I was being trained on expo and saute before I got hit by a truck as a pedestrian that fractured 3 of my ribs and put me out of work for 8-ish months. I never fully recovered, and with COVID happening right after, took a huge hit to my career goals. I got a $17K settlement, but I feel it's minuscule to the negative impact it had on my life. And then I went and bought a bunch of coke. As I grow older, okay, we're coming to the end. Holy shit. As I grow older, I'm learning I have a desire to pass along what has helped me in life to others around me. On the night of the murder, I'm sure there's some discrepancies. First, okay, we're getting back to the night of the murders. He just gave the longest winded, here's my life. No one really asked, but here it is, ever. On the night of the murders, I'm sure there's some discrepancies. First, I got home a little late because I was talking to one of my coworkers after work. When I went home, it was pretty normal. I made some tea, did some drills, and I think played a game of Laugh Out Loud. I went to bed and heard nothing out of the ordinary. When the cop knocked on my door the next day and asked if I had heard anything, I was like, no, nothing unusual. I didn't know there was a murder, so small details like a faint scream in the distance, one of my neighbors getting home, closing their car door, closing the front door, etc., were not on my mind. I noticed I was quoted as heard a scream. This is not true. I heard a scream faint and party-like to my half-sleep eyes. So that's him trying to correct what before and another. And again, let's go back. What endlessly contradicting himself in these interviews that he's had. And maybe that goes back to, I think it was Pookie that was saying, I mean, he's a bit of a burnout in these interviews. So he's just saying he was sleepy and maybe it wasn't a scream. I'm so used to hearing so many screams. They're always partying over there. To be clear, there's probably at least 5 screams every Saturday. That's literally what he's saying now. Even on dead nights, you'll probably hear at least someone making loud sounds at some point. Small detail, but in this situation, I think screaming and a scream and a very different and small details matter like this with all the internet sleuths and conspirators around. Some of you are wondering what stick juggling is, and I'd love to share. I'm at a point in my practice where I start offering services. See, this is what he was trying to do, right? He's trying to get his 5 minutes. If he is a part of this, and he was like, man, you know, I'm gonna get the stick juggling off, get going. Let's go. This is gonna happen. And that was his plan. That would be insane. And he doesn't seem like the smartest bloke. Let's just say it. And all we've run into here recently is the most moronic criminals in the world that are going viral anyways. I'm going to start a free YouTube channel on learning fundamentals. Oh, he's going to start a free YouTube channel. Imagine that. A free YouTube channel, bro, on learning fundamentals along with cooking, a cooking show. If you'd like to see more about what's going on in my life, I'd love you to stay tuned. I actively avoid social media, but I have a public IG staff junkie that I haven't updated in years because I'm lazy when it comes to video uploading and editing, but I will work to add some more recent videos of what I've done with triples. That was the most insane read I've went through. I'm going to go through a little bit of this, but Jesus Christ, bro. I'm going to send this to you right now, Drunk Turkey. Actually, if you want to look through this, send it to you on Twitter, brother. Because it's an interesting read, man, to say the least. There you go, man. Yeah, anybody that is in here hanging out, hit like. 250 people in here, 165 likes. Please hit that like, guys. Helps me out. Share this. And if you are not subscribed to Publicly Buzzed, please subscribe. We go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday nights get really kind of crazy. About 10:30 every Friday night we come in here. And yeah, we're talking about conspiracies. We're watching interrogations. We're drinking. Please bring whatever vice is your favorite vice. Usually I'm with my brother hanging out. Hell yeah, drunk. Probably Daniel. Appreciate it, man. But yeah. Go back up here and read a little bit of chat real quick. Back up. Got back up to Dave. I'm glad you're doing better, Dave, man. See, Dio, I think Inan and BK Diller was his dealer, and they did this together. BK could have been in the house while Inan was watching the girls from the food truck. He was there. And who was that? It was Van Life. It was another Van Life channel, and I followed them, and they've been doing some cool stuff too. They're a smaller channel too, but they were talking about how there's some dudes lurking at that food truck in the background. And she's naming names over there, bro. So like, and I'm not going to say that. I mean, it seems like that's a very good possibility that those girls were being watched for maybe the entire night, and hell, probably a lot longer than that night, but closely to see when they were going to get home. Julie Johnson, RM and Keep It Rolling. Used to go to Calabash to do deep sea fishing with my boyfriend. Oh yeah, definitely with Myrtle. Yep, been to Myrtle Beach tons of times. Glad to have you on board, Julie. I'm going to start a free YouTube channel. That really cracked me up. Insane. And curtain lips to yoga. Oh God, that one got me. Going to send me the hiccups here. Hiccups. The wandering orphan. Oh my God. Okay. See, I remember Get Him to the Greek when Jackie Q is saying the dinner cried for 3 hours, and Aldous says that seems awfully indulgent. I don't remember that, but I've only seen that movie once, and it was like when it came out. I need to rewatch that movie, actually. I remember that movie being freaking hilarious, especially that drug scene. I don't remember that right off, though. True Crime Cafe, like I said, extremely unsurvivable and unrealistic. Marge Y probably puts Coke on his Eggo waffles. This dude loves some Coke, bro. HH4, thanks for popping in here. Appreciate it. No, I'm with you with 420 Mama. He ain't cooking nothing for me. Bubbly Waters, thanks for popping in here. I hope that is a bong reference. The college he started at is called Evergreen State College. Lots of hippies and drugs, but actually great college. Yeah, I'm not against hippies, and I mean I'm not against all drugs. But what this guy, and I called it before we hit this, man. Anybody that rewatches this or goes back, and I did not look at this before I got to that part, but I was like, man, this dude was probably selling drugs at a festival. Anybody that's been to a festival in their life, you always see those dudes are carrying the backpacks and they're always going around saying Molly, Headies, doses, trying to sell you something. And those dudes are drug dealers, 1000%. And they're there for a reason. And they're usually part of a group that are selling drugs. And I called that shit. And then he started saying, I love the festival life. And I love, he literally was saying he was selling drugs and got busted. This story is just so unrealistic. I just think he's a peon looking to try be important. And you might be right. True Crime Cafe. Yeah. He's definitely indulging and again, contradicting and probably endlessly lying. And a lot of this stuff. And like whoever said, doing this many drugs, you know, the way he's kind of he's almost like bragging about all the drug use that he had here, right? Like it's weird. And the whole thing comes off as weird. So many random tangents. It's ridiculous. Keister, he didn't just get off track. He derailed, put the thing back together and came full circle into the station. Keister Bunny's fucking hilarious. Wow. Please come back to chat. You are hilarious. Yeah, the Wandering Orphan, I think he's referenced on the PCA for a reason. He's going to be interesting if he ends up on that in the trial on the stand. Oh God, actually he won't. Dear Lord, he's just going to be rambling. Oh, no problem, Dave. Yeah, dude, go back and check it out though. It's been a wild one. That whole thing, multiple times. I try to make it as entertaining as I possibly can. I lost chat. Oh man. Damn. Lost chat. Hold on. I'm trying to catch back up here. A lot of people coming through here. Really appreciate it, guys. I am coming to an end here, but I'm going to try to get through all this chat. If we can get to 200 likes tonight, that'd be freaking dope though, man. We got 260 people in here. Hit that like, guys. Get the 200 likes. That'd really make me happy. Again, tomorrow night, we're going to be in the Drunk Turkey Show, hanging out, talking Alex Murdaugh trial, which I've been watching a lot of. We've covered that multiple times here on Publicly Buzzed, and we're going to be doing some Idaho stuff, of course. I'm really excited about that. We missed the first time because I got COVID, unfortunately, and somebody on their side, Jaime, got sick as well. But yeah, tomorrow night's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Let's see here. Marge, wonder if his friends with Zaina's mom, they could ride off into the DUI checkpoint together. Holy shit. Yeah, we got some funny. This is the community I want to build here in Publicly Buzzed. People with a sense of humor, man. Absolutely. And Drunk Turkey Show has that community too. Their chat is always fire as well with people that get it, man. What we're trying to do here. Like, we're covering some of the most crazy stories imaginable. It's gruesome. It's death. There's no other way to put it. It's crimes that are absolutely horrific. And I've even had people say, you know, you're making light of a subject or you're making fun. You know, that's my personality in real life. If you're with me in real life, and unfortunately, you know, if I've lost somebody, you know, my way to get through it is laughter. I have been inappropriate in situations more times than one, and that's who I am, and I'm not apologizing for it. And I think there's a lot of other people like that, and I'm in no way at all disrespecting any of the people that have fallen, even just to mention the Idaho 4. No way at all would I disrespect anybody that's actually victims in these things. I just want to get that out of the way. But yeah, the people that are coming through and being hilarious in the chat, thank you so much. You're making me realize that there's more than just us. Loving it. First, then subscribe, and then like again. Yep. Hell yeah. Thank you, 420 Mom. I hope to see you back through also. Shit, Bubbled Waters, that house was live cam streamed 24/7 in your opinion. Well, that'd be crazy to find that out. Having people become best friends in the chat in here. Yeah, Dan, they do pretty good, man. They're crazy. Everybody's still hot on the Kohberger stuff. Everybody and there's always stuff. Just we started this out with the 911 stuff that's just popping off. Always new stuff leaking out, even with the gag order. True Crime, I'd like to think he's involved because of the type of person he is, but he doesn't seem smart enough to pull this off without making insane mistakes. He doesn't come off as the smartest guy at all. Fair point. Marge, didn't someone at the food truck tell them they're going to get you for that? That was them walking back, right? Hoodie guy, Zaina and Maddie, I believe. And that is what it sounded like they said. Yeah, Keister, the interaction between Hoodie guy and the other guy was interesting. You know what? I think that's something I'm not going to do it tonight. We're already late. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow night if you come through. Go over the food truck footage again, because there's a few things in there I would like to actually kind of go back over and kind of look at some more suspects there, some more people. Because when you're first, when we were back looking at that originally, hell, that was in December. And mostly we were all focused on Hoodie guy and the conspiracy of Hoodie guy. What is he doing? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he lurking? Is he with them? I would like to look at some other people there, maybe. Teresa Ann, yeah, from North Carolina. Hell yeah. New to the channel, love the content, really appreciate it. I'm glad that you're subbed up. Yeah, please hit all notifications as well. Make sure you can get, it'll let you know when I go live or drop content. Candace, remember supposedly someone was videoing in the back of the house for a project. If true, where is that video from the night? Are you talking about that? You might be mentioning that. And I've seen the picture that's maybe from the night, right? That you can see out the window. Maybe. Yeah, it had a bunch of people become members tonight. Really appreciate that, guys. Tons of shoots and acid and weed. He was a different creepy drug group. Yeah, that is a different thing. Completely different thing. Those people at the festival selling were not the people at the festivals partaking and enjoying the music. They weren't there for that. I was getting that vibe out the gate from this dude. The Wandering Orphan, my first episode, is a deep dive. That's Ted Bundy. Jason. Okay, sweet. Hell yeah. Nice. I'm definitely going to be checking out. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull it up here so I can look at some of your stuff on the side. It didn't pop right up, but I will find it. But that's awesome. Hell yeah, because I'm interested in that. That sounds good. The True Crime Cafe, you've got to have some comedy through this. We would all go insane. That's my feelings, 100%. With all the depressing sadness we deal with. Maddie and her boyfriend Jake did a TikTok about being watched and listened to 2 months prior to the slayings. Bubbly Waters. Pookie, I'm into the Nicola Bully case. Yeah, and last night, the Drunk Turkey guys actually covered that. And I had when it first happened, I did one episode on that. And but yeah, they just I've been still looking into that. They'd found a glove recently as well. I think the police there botched that all to hell out the gate, unfortunately. Let's see here. Green Dragon, welcome. Thanks for popping in. I think the frats were drug dealers. I don't think that's far-fetched at all. Hell yeah, Socrates. Appreciate it. And Anna Sue, thank you. RVing, keep it rolling. I'm still not sure about Hoodie guys. So many good suspects. Bubbly Waters. Unfortunately, the Twitch full 45 hours of that particular video has been taken down, maybe archived. I don't know, but there's a loss to see before and after that clip. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, you're talking about how they're always streaming there. And I remember going to that Twitch channel, and there's so much content on that channel. Man, I lost chat again. Damn, hold on. Damn. Oh man, if I miss some of these, I'm sorry, because yeah, I've lost. I see it, Andrea Gardner, Rainbow Festivals. Thank you for popping in. Pookie IH walked that sheath over because he knew BK had touched it, and he knew he hadn't left any DNA, because it's my understanding that's the only DNA of his that they have. I mean, that's not even, I mean, knowing how close he lived, man. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Ricky Cougarback is my brother. That's Dan. He is the one that is also usually my co-host here. He'll be here tomorrow night. Again, he's going to be on both the Drunk Turkey Show and our usual Friday Night Live right after the Drunk Turkey Show. Casey Mel, new name. Thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Hope you're subbed up. I definitely think Brian was going to buy drugs from him. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, it all kind of fits a little too perfectly. And hell, I know I was throwing it out there, and I'm going to say alleged again, but I mean, the survey that was put out by Bryan Kohberger that we literally know is a real thing, asking the creepy questions about crime and whatnot. Is that how they met? You know? Oh yeah, Keister Bunny, appreciate it. Yeah, trying to grow something good here. I put a lot of work into this channel. Please go back and look at my old videos. I'm actually going to promote this real quick, just because I'm really trying to get this in the algorithm. If anybody could do this, I would freaking appreciate the hell out of this. And people have been coming through. This was from our Tuesday night live, and I broke a video out from it. But if anyone could go and actually like the new video, I'm just going to pull it over so you can actually see it. The new video that I posted, it's called "Man Freezes to Death While in Police Custody." It's this crazy story from Alabama, but I'm actually trying to get that video popping off. And if anybody could in here right now go and like that and help, give it a watch, share it. But an actual like would help get that into the algorithm, and I'd really appreciate that, guys. That'd be awesome. Hope I didn't lose my place here. Yes, smash the like. Appreciate that, Water and Orphan. Casey Mel, and that was a long, sad sales pitch for yoga and sticks. That's all that just happened here. Drugs, and what did he call it? I don't even know what the hell he called the stick thing. It's drilling. Yeah, we're about to drill, dog. Let's just go. I can't wait to get home and drill. God, I gotta shoot that coke up first, though. I need another drink. Marge, can't wait for the show. Yeah, tomorrow night's gonna be fun, guys. I'm really excited. Casey, would anyone be surprised if it was actually Inan with the OnlyFans at this point? That would not surprise me. Yeah, everybody, I just saw that story popping off now, right? Everyone's talking about the girls, some of the girls had OnlyFans or stuff. I've seen nothing substantiating that whatsoever. But that would be hilarious. He's trying to get famous. I mean, that's another route. Pull the dong out, bro. Bubbly Waters, Kara, Zaina's mom, trespassing was mainly at the pharmaceutical company. The Wandering Orphan, talking to Keister. Dio, I heard it was the survivors with the OnlyFans, but they live stream dance parties or something. Hell, that may substantiate. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, it wouldn't be that crazy. Sub to Drunk Turkey, love his channel. Everyone has different opinions, and that's great. Otherwise, chat is boring. That's my take on it. Dude, in my real life, I have friends that are on one side of the spectrum, and I have friends that are on the other side. And I'm talking political or otherwise. And I will talk to anybody about anything, man. I'm not gonna hate on anybody unless you have just and basically, unless you're in this chat, we've even said this, unless you're being racist or attacking an individual or, going after somebody, being an actual a shithead piece of shit, that's when I would be mad. Okay. I just the disagreeing and having differing opinions, that is what we're all about. I mean, that didn't used to be a problem. Bubbly Waters, this is about fentanyl and Molly. Combo kills, any combo with fentanyl kills. Oh, thank you, Silva, for being here. I really appreciate it. A lot of new names in here tonight. Really appreciate it, guys. Almost to 200 likes. 3 more to go. If you're just chilling in here and you haven't hit that like, please do. I ain't going to be in here too much longer. Just trying to catch up with this chat. The True Crime Cafe, you've got to have some comedy through this. We would all go insane. Absolutely. Bully Waters, Maddie and her boyfriend Jake did a TikTok about being watched and listened to. Whoa, is that TikTok still up? Shit. I mean, they had even talked about, Kelly had talked about being stalked, man. Oh yeah, definitely Pookie. Yeah. I'm going to try to get back into that and take a look at that. There's just so much going on. Really, the thing that's gotten me away from it is daily. I've been watching the Murdoch trial. I missed a few days of that during COVID, but I've pretty much kept up on that. I've been watching that this week. Yesterday was the most interesting day of that, actually. But yeah, I hope that I would love for Nicola Bully to be found. I would love for the theories of her just running away from her family. Because some information came out about her, about having maybe some menopause and like maybe even some drinking issues. I would love for her to just be running away for a little bit, right? Oh, Sylvia, I love what you were doing. This was my first time actually being in the live. Great content. Hell yeah, definitely. I think we were talking in maybe the comments earlier. I hope to see you tomorrow night. Definitely. I'll pop through the Drunk Turkey show live and then pop in here afterwards. I would be surprised if it turns out to be Bryan, especially just him alone. That's what I'm saying, Andrea. I really will. I've been saying that since the beginning. I do not think it's one person. I think he thought he was cute and sly getting on Reddit and 4chan or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I have no clue. If he was a part of it and he was going through all this, that is so silly, though. Inan is in San Fran on Hyatt Street, twirling sticks in front of Tada Emporiums. That's his heaven, right? Orphan Steven, I say he's already dead in the video when they took him to the hospital. Yeah, that video, guys, is insane. The story is crazy. The footage is crazy. I will say, advise. There's a warning. There's a couple of warnings on it. That one is, it's a bit dark, but I wish that story would blow up because that needs to be looked into. And there are police officers there that absolutely need to be charged with murder. 100%. No other way to look at it. Just another YouTuber. Thanks for popping in here. Appreciate it. Yeah, 209 likes. Hell yes. Nice, guys. Hell yeah. I remember the Facebook post claiming to be a relative of Bryan. That person said it was his dealer. And I thank you for popping in here. Just another YouTuber. Hope you're subbed up. Hopefully we're hitting 3K subs. We were getting close. Let me check that out. Might have hit that. It's been a damn good stream here. See how close we are. Oh, okay. We're 2911 right now. So yeah, we're approaching 3K subs. Hell yeah. Lee Myrick, Wandering Orphan. It does get cold here in Alabama. It's supposed to be 27 degrees. Man, that video is messed up. But yeah, please go give that video a like and a share. Again, I'd like to get the word out on that. Green Dragon, I started to think only Maddie was the target for whatever she told Adam. Maybe if the others had stayed in their rooms like Dylan and Bethany, they would not have died. Interesting. Back up here, Bubbly Waters. The cop loaded TV in back of his cruiser the same day Fry drove to U-Haul. Okay, I might look at that. Yeah. The True Crime Cafe did a deep dive into Nicola Bully. Yeah, I'll check that out. Let me pop up their name here on the side too, so I can remember that. I'm terrible at remembering stuff, guys. Hell yeah. Nice. Popped right up. And you got a new sub. Boom. Hell yeah. Got a bunch of lives there. Hell yeah. Oh, yep. See it there? Some Nickel Bully stuff. Yeah, I'll be looking at that. Yeah, give him a sub. The True Crime Cafe with Dago. Sandy, Colorado, I'm new. Thank you for popping in, Sandy. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good Thursday night. And yeah, just out the gate one more time. Hell, and people are probably tired of hearing it. Every Tuesday, Thursday, I go live about 9 o'clock. Every Friday night at 10:30, we get crazy. When I say crazy, we're really just drinking and watching pretty much interrogations, watching really whatever you guys want to watch, honestly, on Friday nights. We get, I usually have we'll play a drinking game with an interrogation. Anybody wants to go back and watch it live, we did with Sarah Boone, that interrogation and that body cam footage. We played a drinking game and it got pretty funny. The Dober Dad, that's a new name. Thanks for popping in here. Yeah, hope you're subbed up, Dober Dad. Hell yeah. Informed speculation, yeah. Buzzed, you should see Dago's deep dive. Oh yeah, it's got there. Oh god, yeah. The story video crazy. Watched it yesterday on your channel. Yeah, man, that video talking about the dude that froze to death. Again, it's dark, but it's crazy. The Dober Dad. Hell yeah, you're gonna fit right into this channel. I love listening to this stuff with a glass of scotch and a fat bowl. I just got done with some Crown Royal, and I did see a man about a dog, possibly, potentially, allegedly before. Thank you. You're gonna enjoy this channel, I believe. The Inquisitive Room, good morning, and I know that she is in the UK. Thank you for popping in here. Hope you have a good day in the UK. Probably Friday there. Bubbly Waters, I think law enforcement, little people involved, paid to protect and keep hush. He really is in San Fran, no lie. Yeah, he ain't done nothing to admit online anyways. Bree, hey, how you doing? Thank you for popping in. Mama Ruckus, thank you for popping in. Bunch of new names popping in here right now. Yeah, hell yeah, guys. Sub up. Thank you guys so much. Let's go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just in the last couple minutes up to 2919. That is awesome, guys. My email is publiclybuzzed@gmail.com, compulsive rambler. Yeah, send me something. Let me see. I don't know if there's anything in there now. I do have a little something in there from somebody. But yeah, send me some stuff. I'll look at it. Yeah, no problem. True crime. And I gotta find the Wandering Orphans channel too now. Yeah, I want to see the Bundy thing. Princess Sarah, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. Now, Subconscious Mouth actually was somebody that when the early days of my channel was popping in, he stopped, but he seemed like a cool guy. I did dig him. Yeah, I'm gonna go and pop. I'm actually sub to him also. Yeah. He's got cool good thumbnails too. RVing, I'm the new sub, but I've seen you on Drunk Turkey tonight. You showed in my recommended. Hell yeah. I'm glad I did. That's good news. Hopefully getting my shit out there. I'm pumping it, guys. That's how you got to do it too. Oh man, 3 Dobermans. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I am a dog person. Anybody that's new to the channel, you will find out pretty quickly. We talk about dogs pretty often. You know, that's the first home defense mechanism. I love my girl Gypsy. And Dan has a dog named Gigi. Alien Dog, cool name, new name also. Thank you for popping in here. If the evidence is overwhelming for Bryan, would he confess to others who might be involved for the plea deal? Interesting. Because as we get closer, that's what's going to be interesting to see if anything happens, if he does, and if they try to entice him with a plea deal anyways. But it seems like he's pretty hardcore with saying, I'm innocent, right? A guardian angel just subscribed, liked, hell yes. That's what I like to hear. Thank you very much. Oh, the Dober Dad, the Wandering Orphan's my beautiful wife. Hell yeah, nice. Okay, I kind of put that together when she said the Doberman thing, but yeah, nice to know. Hell yeah. Well, glad to have both you guys on board. Hell yeah. Nice. Thank you, True Crime. And I'll be checking it out too. Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's the whole thing, man. Let's get this community built. And I don't know if Daniel's still in here from Drunk Turkey Show. I shouted him out last time. They blew the hell up, and I have nothing but love and respect for those guys because as they've blown up, they haven't forgot about a channel like me, who they kind of got to know. They out the gate when I first saw them, they had 13K, which are 33K now, and they were still kind enough to reach back and they've done this with tons of channels that are smaller now. They basically, as they've grown, they haven't pulled the ladder up behind them, guys. They are reaching down and saying, hey, come up with us. And that's what we got to do, guys. We got to work together. Oh shit, starting a new job, Inquisitive Room. Well, I hope it goes well. Good luck. And that's exciting and also probably a little bit scary, but yeah, good luck. I always hated starting new jobs, but yeah, good luck. I hope it goes good for you. Mama Ruckus, hell yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Pookie, here's crazy, and I'll keep you posted. I possibly found a human skeleton today when I went to the woods to see if ramps are up yet. He or she won't be less dead tomorrow. Holy shit, yeah, let me know. Dear God. What in the hell? No change, no more. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. Hope you're subbed up as well. Yeah, it looks like we're getting out into that algorithm, guys. I appreciate everybody that's been helping me out with that. Seriously. Keister Bunny, the little details in the PCA lead me to think that there are certain details they backfilled to fit. I think you might be right there. I think we're going to find out a lot more stuff as time moves on. And how many more leaks are going to happen, right? This gag order. Green Dragon, they came in the second floor and bypassed everyone there and go to the second floor to get Maddie, but Kaylee is there, so she gets killed also. Give out some theories. Okay, the first episode will drop this weekend, if not before. Okay. Bubbly Waters, that house was on live stream, and so was the slaying. In my opinion, too many people running around in the shadows. Keep losing Chad here. Damn it. Hell, thank you very much, True Crime. Trying, man, trying. Dude, and anybody that goes back and watches this after the fact, this was the craziest post I've seen. This is ridiculousness. Tons of times just had my mind blown by this thing. Marge, then a roommate got into a fight about the drug dealing or possibly was humiliated or bullied and wanted to settle the score. Plus, if that DM is a dude, it would give her the strength. Our Dobermans are named Bobega, Grandpa, and Lucky Number Slevin. Oh, nice. Cool names, too. Hell yeah. Grandpa just an older dog? Was he Grandpa when he was younger? I've got questions about Grandpa. Oh, thank you, Bubbly Waters. Hell yeah, got some animal lovers in here. Animal lovers is going to be, yeah. If you're not an animal lover, get the hell out of here. No, I'm just joking. There are people that don't get along with dogs and animals. I get it. I have dogs and cats. I've always been into animals. But there's a lot of animal talk that goes down in here. But I do know people that I've had people that I know friends that don't like dogs because if they've had, circumstances that happened when they were children or whatnot. And I get it, man. That's compulsive rambler. I chose to share it with you because you seem responsible and to have integrity. And my absolute worst nightmare is that what I've sent you gets out to the public before authorities arrest the guy. I will never send what you've sent me out. 100%. Please trust that I'm not here doxing anybody whatsoever. I see it in here right now. Yeah, that's not happening, compulsive rambler. You can trust me. Yeah, not a shady random YouTuber on here. Pookie, my doodle, it'll still be there. It's in a log. What the hell's going on in your woods, Pookie? Well, if you do go back out there, be careful. Was your dog alerted by it and sniffing around there, freaking out? Definitely Julie Johnson. Dude, Daniel and the Drunk Turkey shows, can't say enough good things about those guys. I'm so pumped up to hang out with them tomorrow night on their stream. We did a live with them a couple of weeks back. If you go back and look at my past lives, it's actually my favorite thumbnail that I've done. I'm just going to show it because it is literally my favorite thumbnail that I've done. I put Bryan Kohberger in an electric chair. And again, I got a little bit of grief for that. Oh wait, that's a subconscious. It's a little bit of grief for that, but I thought that is my favorite thumbnail I've done. But yeah, Drunk Turkey Show came on. We went over a bunch of different things. And one of the main things we had on there was the Kim WSU stuff. The mom from Washington. So yeah, go back and check that one out if you haven't, folks. Compulsive Rambler. I've been in turmoil for over a month now, worrying that every single day this guy hasn't been arrested, he could be killing more people. Yeah, okay. I'm definitely going to be looking into that. What the hell? And you said you've already actually talked to the FBI, so yeah, they're killer, man. Can't say enough good things about those dudes. Yeah, hit the like, guys, if you're just hanging out in here. 232 people in here and 232 likes. Perfect ratio. I won't ask again. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Al Chili, thank you for popping in here. Appreciate it. I hope those stars are from me. 6 stars. Hell yeah. Elizabeth Martin just subscribed. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. Bree Bree is a Drunk Turkey Show subscriber. Hell yeah. Cricket Moon. Well, Cricket Moon, welcome. I hope that you come back by. If you do subscribe, please hit the 3 little dots and make sure you get notifications when I go live. Oh, damn. Don't see a head on it. Jesus. Well, that does not sound good. Yeah, and like Lee Myrick just said, watching this channel grow. You jump on now, you're going to be one of the first people in. You know, if we continue to grow, I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to be knocking on wood right now. Knock on some wood at home, please. But yeah, watch this channel grow because I'm going to keep hustling, y'all. I spend a lot of time on this channel. I do a lot of actual edited videos too. If you go back and look, I've done some mini docs. A lot of work I put into this channel, guys. Compulsive Rambler, I'm hoping that the gag order is in place specifically because of the person they haven't arrested yet. I'm just worried they might have tunnel vision and not be reading tips on it. And that's a fear of mine too. And I think that's why people like Steve Gonsalves is pissed off, and I'm pissed off about the gag order because other stuff is coming to light and people can't either talk about it. Hopefully it's because law enforcement is looking around and they aren't just so zoned in on Kohberger that they don't think that anything else could be possible or other suspects could be possible, because that would be sad, man. And there's so many people that are just so anti any other discussion or any other possibility. We don't know. Kohberger is innocent until proven guilty, guys. We don't know. Like, I do think they have the right guy with oh, excuse me. Hit my mic and said, excuse me. But I do think they have the right guy with Kohberger, but I've always thought there's potentially somebody else involved. And we don't know still. The Green Dragon, I wonder what the sheriff was doing at the corner club that night. I do know the picture looked like he was there. I don't know if that was ever confirmed, but I do remember people going with that. Troll Begun, dogs are the best people. They are. Best friends I have always been dogs. I trust animals. And if my Gypsy does not trust somebody if they're coming in, I mean, there's a vibe, guys. And I think and dog people know that vibe. Yeah, Julie's saying it was the owner of the club. I think that's actually what I remember coming out. There was some confusion. It did look a lot like the sheriff, though. Yeah, Prentice Sarah, I'm with you 100%. The Chicken Teat coming through. I didn't see your name tonight. Thank you. That's a long-time subscriber right there. And Sandy, Colorado is always looking for a party. Friday nights at 10:30. You're going to find it on this channel, my friend. Definitely. And we're going to find it tomorrow night, too. After the Drunk Turkey show. Getting excited. I'd love to see another Mama Kim show soon. Cecilia? Pookie. Now, I was looking for the remains of a small sawmill that burned down, and I was looking over a steep drop-off, and at the bottom was a log, and in the log, what looked like a rib cage and shoulder. I mean, maybe it's animal, possibly, but I mean, also you could probably be able to tell if it wasn't animal. I mean, wow. Yeah, RVing. I love my dogs. He's Hound Vet said he was a stray. I think he was a pit or rot in him. That's my girl. She's a pit mixed with something because her head is just a pitty head, but her body has long hair on it, and she's almost like maybe colliesh, like her body's almost colliesh, but got a pit head with that short hair, but her ears are real fluffy ears on a pitty short-haired head, man. She's unique. Keystra, I have dogs of every size and personality. I'm a foster and behavioral consultant for Humane Society. Anytime someone has a fear of pups, we find one they can handle and move up from there. That's a good way to do it, probably, yeah, to break that fear. Pookie, not far away where Long Bones should be a cop here tomorrow. Oh, you've already called, of course. I'll show him, and it's up to them. He was tossed over the hill and landed in the big holler log. Damn, that'd be wild. Keep me up to date on that. Oh, thank you, Cricket Moon. I'm glad you'll be back. Hell yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Yeah, True Clown, great stream. I'll be sending my entire community this way. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely be shouting you out again as well. Seriously, man. All got to grow together, guys. Marge, then before I started to think BK might be innocent, I thought he did it for love because his flying thing, yeah, he was afraid of flying, told him to kill her because friends because they mistreated and bullied her. Julie, it does I wonder the same thing at first, my guardian angel. So you keep up the yeah, I'm up to date on the Alex Murdoch trial. Love Tina, I did think he did it. I don't know why, but he didn't. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Is that on the Murdoch thing? Sylvia, I have OCD, knock on wood often. I do too. Like, I say dumb shit all the time, so I'm always knocking on wood. Oh yeah, man, it's chat's fire, guys. Sorry, but I think Steve and his attorney on the press stump citing how there was a connection to BK they couldn't discuss. I love Tina. People have nasty opinions about people, but he just looks like a normal, nice guy. Keister Bunny, that was most likely the owner of the club by the door, not the sheriff. That's what I remember. Now that's kind of ringing a bell now that you guys are saying that. Princess Sarah's coming back tomorrow. Hell yeah, appreciate it. 10. Actually, I keep saying 10:30. I'm not 100% sure on the time because it'll be directly after the Drunk Turkey show. So if you're watching that, I'll already have a channel, a room set up. So you know, jump, and hopefully I can maybe get my link posted in their chat and jump right over, guys. That'd be dope. RVing, they omitted to many good suspects. They omitted, if my dog doesn't like you, there's a reason, and I listen to him. Same. Julia Johnson, but no matter how that they spent whatever stories are telling still does not explain the 911 calls and DM calling people over there next, right? Before calling 911. Beagle named Frankie. Hell yeah, love Tina. Hell yeah, guys. Finally getting caught up here. I love Dobermans too. The only Doberman I've ever met, I loved. He was the sweetest guy, man. He was so friendly and super intimidating looking, but man, and I'm going to tell y'all right this, and I'm not afraid to say it. I've never met a dog that didn't like me. Never. I have never met a dog. I've seen dogs, you know, they're acting weird, whatever. You give them the hand. You make sure they're good. You never just go in on a dog. You make sure it's good. You get the energy down. I've always been here with dogs, man. I don't know. Like I'm going to cry talking. I love dogs so much. Those videos on the internet, man, messed me up. Marge, they're not questioning immediately about why a roommate didn't call 911 for 8 hours, leaving their daughter oozing blood, saying the witness is a victim. I thought was pure BS for a parent. That's the thing, man. That's the people don't understand why. So where somebody else could be coming from on this, right? Karen Lee, thank you for popping in here. She is here. Karen Lee is funny. She has been commenting on a bunch of my stuff, and she is a new fan here, and I'm really proud to have you here, Karen Lee. I won Karen Lee over, I feel like. She watched one of my lives, and she actually gave me a good critique, and I'm also super open to critiques. I'm not, you know, she was saying that I talked a little bit too fast. She was telling me to slow down, stick to the subject a little bit more hand. And, I'm always super positive in all my responses to anybody, even if they're negative. And she came back with an incredibly positive response and started actually looking at my stuff. And dude, she's here right now, man. Thank you so much. That could have turned into such a negative situation. And we both talked and we both realized that we're human beings, man. Like, thank you for being here. If Demon was frozen in shock, then why didn't she call 911 first? 2, if she thought it was a party goer, then why was she calling friends over the next day to check out the house? There's so many little contradictions right in there, right where you're at. Oh yeah, rant on here either way. Ain't nobody saying shit. Again, as long as you're not being racist, attacking somebody personally, anything to that degree, we're cool. Opinions can fly in here. RV and keep it rolling. PubliclyBuzzed, that is strange, but bet Dougie pretty. Mine I was in, and I'll post a picture of her on my community soon so you guys can see her. Mine I know is Hound Vet, but Vet said that, but he has pit face. Whoa, it's a hound with a pit face and had heartworm and just lost my mini of 17 years. We saved each other. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. I dread that day, my friend. My heart's with you. I'm sorry. If you go back, it's the, it's the one right here. It said, did Bryan Kohberger have help? And then the actual title is, did Bryan Kohberger have help? Idaho 4 conspiracy stream. Yeah, go back and check that one out. It's the one right before the lady that feeds the pigs, feeds some dudes, some of her farm hands to pigs. We did that one on the last Friday. We got drunk and watched that. It was like 4 hours. And right before me kicking COVID in the dick stream, I got COVID, and then coming out of it, I was like, I'm getting out of this bitch. Yeah, Jenny, thank you for popping in here. New name. Keister Bunny, my expertise is with new litters, bully breeds, and small ones. Most handlers consider demon. Oh, dude. I'm not about people like, it's how you raise these dogs. I'm 100% with how it's how you treat them. Julie, not hating on DM, just trying to make sense out of it, and it does not make any sense. I'm with you. The questions is what's there. I'm not hating on her at all. I want some answers, and we're not getting them yet, and we probably won't be getting them till June, but still. Love Tina, they talk about Hunter being Ethan's friend, but friends are capable of doing things too. No one talks about when the cop walked around the back, Hunter was messing with the sliding door handle. Indian ringneck parrots, mine was absolutely love of my life. They're like having a toddler. Yep, that's how I feel. Bubbly Waters, loveliness, I agree. He did something, but not that. And yes, go back and watch his interview with the brunette woman. That's what we were kind of looking at last week. And I didn't watch the entire thing. I do need to go through we watched about 20 minutes of that. It was towards the end, but I need to finish that actually. So your show is good because it is interactive. Not many YouTube channels do this. You will grow, and I'm there. Thank you, Cecilia. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody involved here. Definitely. Hell yeah, Andrea. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Shine Louder, new name. Thank you for popping in. Hey, I always wondered about the Lanton shoe print in the PCA. It needed to be found with a special chemical. Does that mean that the crime scene was staged and cleaned? Karen Lee, I'm back. I'm here for you, Buzzed. I've got your back. Hell yeah, dude. I'm so happy to see you here. You don't even understand. That's awesome. Yeah, constructive criticism is one of the best tools in helping us grow as creators. True crime. Cafe with Dago. Definitely. I got one of my pups who stays awake at night plotting new ways to hold a grudge against different people and take it out of them. It's fascinating. What? You need a YouTube channel just for these dogs, Keister. Bubbly Water's crap. I got to go clean out the cat box for reals. Well, hey, thank you for popping in here tonight. I'm trying to get off here. It's hard. I love talking to you guys. This is awesome. This is so cool. It is getting kind of late. I gotta get up and go to work in the morning, sadly. But again, I'm going to keep trying to pump these things out though. Anyone ever wonder what's up with BK's sister? Not probable, I know, but would the DNA also apply to her? Karen Lee, you have to love and respect dogs' knowledge. They know so much. Yeah, it's been good, but it's been doing real good in Inquisitive Room. Yeah, I've been growing really quick. When this case started, my first Idaho 4 case was November 17th. I had 87 subs. So I have been working my ass off. Let me just say that. Oh yeah, 29, 28 right now. Hell yeah. Getting close. I'll hit 250 likes in here. Yeah, this should hit the algorithm and probably bring a lot more people in too, man. You guys are seriously the backbone of this thing. My brother said it once, it takes a village, and we are that village right now. Hell yeah, Karen Lee. Julie Johnson, yes, Buzzed. I agree with you, Andrea. Your speed is good here. Love your live. And again, I maybe do talk a little fast sometimes. I mean, I get excited. I get hyped up. I'm not going to lie. But I think that's part of my personality that you have to bring your true self out in these things. If you're not being real, then you shouldn't even be doing this. Fake people ain't going to make it. Wow. Whoa, 50 ticks. Dear God. Ticks is something that I worry about here. I'm always checking my dogs and cats for ticks. Love Tina, how can one be in shock and can't call 911, but can call all kinds of friends and open her bedroom door 2 to 3 times? Karen Lee, dogs know so much. True Crime, have a great night, bro. Again, great stream. Hey, thank you. I'm getting off here too, True Crime, and I'm gonna be checking out your channel. Yeah, we'll be in contact. Thank you. Pop in here tomorrow night. Dave H, I get tired easily. I got to go to bed. Thank you. No, we're all getting off here, guys. I'm getting off here as well. Dave H, glad you're back home, doing better. Dan, thank you for popping in and hanging out and chat and watching everybody. Compulsive Rambler, thank you. Keister Bunny, Marge, Christian Marie, new name, thank you. I hope you're subbed up. I'm gonna end it up though, folks. Thank you. 252 likes on a live stream. That is badass. 200 people hanging out in here right now. We had a damn good live, folks, and we are going to continue to grow. Tomorrow night, Drunk Turkey Show. Me and my brother Dan are going to be on there, and then directly after, we're going to be having our usual Friday night live. Thank you guys so much. Killer live, man. It's been crazy, boys and girls. And this community is growing into something awesome. Awesome. Yeah. No, that's one thing. And only, as we grow, I'm not saying there won't be more mods, but they will have an understanding of what I want in this channel. And that is 100% free speech. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you can say whatever you want here, guys. Opinions, it's what's keeping the conversation going. But yeah, tomorrow night, guys, jump back in here. We're going to be banging it out. And you're going to learn real quick, I'm terrible at ending these. One more time, go and right now, just go from this video, if you're on my channel, man freezes to death while in police custody. Go and like that video. I'm really trying to get that into the algorithm. Go and like all the videos. Shit, I don't care. But that one specifically, that story is crazy. It's messed up. I want those men that have killed this dude to pay. They deserve to be actually charged with murder. And being the police in Alabama, they probably won't. And they're probably going to be off with pay or some bullshit. So please go give that a like. I'd like for that to get some, acknowledgement in the algorithm. That'd be great. I did see that lady who's in love with Brian, Julie, as well. And I have something else I didn't even get into tonight. I had something this was so freaking long. I have another thread that's from a random Idaho Facebook group that is called Justice for Bryan Kohberger that I want to dive into. And it's really laced with conspiracy stuff. But we'll have to get through it to see what's going on, won't we? But yeah, thank you guys again. 255 likes. I'm going to be getting out of here, guys. Thank you all so much, for real this time. Tomorrow night, live stream with us, live stream with Drunk Turkey Show. Get subbed up, stay a part of it. Thank you guys so much, seriously.